On a summer day in August 1819, over 60,000 people gathered peacefully at St. Peter's Field in Manchester. Their goal was clear: demand political representation and the right to vote. What began as a hopeful rally for change soon descended into chaos and bloodshed. Known today as the Peterloo Massacre, this tragic event marked a turning point in British history. In a time when the working class had no political voice, the protest was a bold stand for democracy. But the government's response was swift and brutal. Mounted cavalry charged into the crowd, attacking men, women, and even children. By the end, at least 18 people were killed and hundreds injured. The massacre sent shockwaves across the nation, igniting outrage and called for political reform. The Peterloo Massacre became a symbol of the struggle for democratic rights in Britain. It exposed the deep flaws in the political system and fueled the movement that eventually led to broader suffrage. Today, Peterloo is remembered as a fight for justice and a reminder of the power of collective action. It's a story of courage, sacrifice, and the enduring quest for equality.
On a summer's day in August 1819, over 60,000 people gathered peacefully at St. Peter's Field in Manchester. They came for a single purpose: to demand political representation and the right to vote. But what began as a hopeful rally for change quickly descended into chaos and bloodshed. This is the story of the Peterloo Massacre, a moment that forever changed the course of British history. In a time when the working class had no voice, this protest was a stand for democracy. But the government's response was swift, brutal, and unforgettable. But what began as a peaceful rally for political reform would end in bloodshed, in what we now know as the Peterloo Massacre. In 1819, the gap between the rich and the poor in England was vast. Working class people had no voice in government, no representation, and no power to change their dire conditions. So when the famous reformer Henry Hunt took the stage, he wasn't just giving a speech, he was giving them hope for a better future. But the authorities saw things differently. To them, this wasn't a peaceful protest. It was a dangerous uprising. The magistrates panicked and ordered the local militia to intervene. Within minutes, chaos erupted. Cavalry charged into the crowd, swinging sabers at unarmed men, women, and even children. In just a few moments, hope turned into horror. The peaceful rally became a massacre. By the time the field was cleared, 18 people were dead and hundreds more were injured. The very name Peterloo was a bitter nod to the Battle of Waterloo, mocking the government's use of military force against its own people. The Peterloo Massacre shocked the nation and became a turning point in the struggle for political reform in Britain. It highlighted the desperate need for change and sparked a movement that would eventually lead to greater democratic rights for all citizens. Today, it stands as a sobering reminder of the cost of fighting for freedom. What lessons can we learn from Peterloo today? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories from history that shaped our world.